Rocha.
Recording in progress.
Thank you, Commissioners. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to exit executive session and resume this public hearing on application VR 2024-001.
So moved. Second the motion.
Commissioner Luis Lopez?
Yes.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Commissioner Felix Lopez?
Yes, thanks Mr. Lucero, Planning and Land Use, for doing all the research and due diligence on this particular property, and those of you that provided testimony, Mr. Hazen and Sheriff Navarrete. As Commissioner Luis Lopez mentioned earlier, a little bit of certainly sometimes due diligence has to take place, and for that we thank you for your patience in waiting around. So, Commissioners, do we have any additional questions for the witnesses?
I would like to call Mr. Hazen back up.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Hazen, thank you again. Just moving forward at this point in time with your application, I think the board is ready to move forward. As long as you and your landowner, and if you're available to speak on behalf of your other landowner,
Yes.
to the contingent of changing this somewhat, of allowing or having it in the resolution that states that you will allow folks that were wanting to visit the cemetery that have their deceased folks there access to that in
Yes.
the resolution.
We have no problem, and I'm actually, the Freedom Outfitters is the managing, on paper, the managing, so I can speak for the 80% for the ranch. But we have no problem allowing people to access a cemetery if there's one there.
Thanks, sir.
We're going to note that as we go forward,
Yes.
so there is no misunderstandings. And as far as somebody would come back to the county, hey, I was denied access,
Correct.
and at that point in time, just for the record, this Board of County Commissioners will probably have to revisit the decision that would be made today to allow access to anyone and all. So I don't know, Mr. Bergenkamp, if on the resolution, we perhaps may have to add that condition, but nonetheless, at this point in time, that is forthcoming to move forward. But at this point in time, any other questions for Mr. Hazen or anybody else in the audience? Hearing none, Yes, sir.
I can tell you too, we have no trespassing signs with my phone number on the signs. So if there's ever any issue, people can just, my number's there readily available. So,
Thank you, sir. Commissioners? Hearing no other discussion, I will entertain a motion.
Chairman, I make the motion to approve the application VR 2024-001 with adding the condition of said comments, allowing access to folks wishing to visit the Lucero Cemetery on this property.
Second the motion.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Commissioner Luis Lopez?
Yes.
Commissioner Felix Lopez?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Hazen. And so definitely now, we're going to go to the resolution VR 2024-001. Robert Starks Living Trust and Freedom Outfitters LLC, Mr. Dorrington.
Resolution of the Board of County Commission of Los Animas County, Colorado, vacating a portion of County Road 105.6, resolution number 24-033. Whereas Robert Starks Living Trust and Freedom Outfitters LLC is requesting to vacate a portion of County Road 105.6, starting at the north boundary of section 1-35 south-61 west, and south approximately 2,037 feet to the end of the road in our ranch house and shop. And whereas Los Animas County Planning Commission heard application VR 2024-001 filed by Robert Starks Living Trust and Freedom Outfitters LLC at this meeting held on September 9, 2024. And whereas Los Animas County Planning Commission recommended that the Board of County Commissioners approve application VR 2024-001, vacate a portion of County Road 105.6, start at the north boundary of section 135 south 61 west, then approximately 2,037 feet to the end of the road in our ranch house and shop. And whereas the Board of County Commissioners held a public hearing on October 15, 2024, which time an opportunity was afforded to the public to make comments on application BR 2024-001. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Los Angeles County, Colorado, that one, the Board of County Commissioners hereby approves application BR 2024-001 and vacates a portion of County Road 1056, starting at the north boundary of section 135 south 61 west, and approximately 2,037 feet to the end of the county road in our ranch house and shop. And then do we want to add 2 with the conditions as stated by the Board of County Commissioners, that being access being available to anyone who wishes to access a cemetery within section 1.
That would be correct, sir. At this point in time, I will entertain motions to work.
Excuse me.
Oh, okay, yes.
The resolution upon motion made, second, and affirmative vote was adopted the 15th day of October 2024 by order of the Board of County Commissioners, Los Angeles County, Colorado, followed by your signature.
Thank you. I will entertain a motion to approve with that particular recommendation.
Move to approve resolution 24-033 BR 2024-001 by Rubber Starks Living Trust and Freedom Outfitters LLC with that amendment.
Second the motion.
Commissioner Luis Lopez?
Yes.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Commissioner Felix Lopez?
Yes. I want to thank you all.
Thank you.
This meeting, the public hearing is adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Now, we're I'll entertain a motion to enter back into the regular Board of County Commissioners regular meeting.
So moved?
Second motion.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Commissioner Luis Lopez?
Yes.
Commissioner Felix Lopez?
Yes. 9J, consideration of resolution 24-036, opposition to proposition KK, firearms and ammunition excise tax. Mr. Dorenkamp?
Commissioner, before you for your considerations, resolution 24-036, opposition to proposition KK, firearms and ammunition and excise tax.
Commissioners, we've had the resolution. Any questions?
No questions,
If
sir.
not, I'll entertain a motion to approve that resolution.
Motion to approve resolution 24-036, opposition to proposition KK, firearms and ammunition excise tax.
Second motion.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Commissioner Luis Lopez?
Yes.
Commissioner Felix Lopez?
Yes, Mr. Dorenkamp, read the resolution for the record.
Board of County Commission, Los Angeles County, Colorado, resolution opposing the passage of proposition KK, resolution 24-036. Whereas the people of Colorado are set to vote on proposition KK, which seeks to establish an excise tax on firearms and ammunition purchases in the state. Whereas the Constitution of both the United States and the state of Colorado guarantee the individual right of the people to keep and bear arms. Whereas the taxation of a fundamental constitutional right is not only a prima facie violation of said right, but is repugnant to any proper sense of governance of a constitutional republic. Taxation of constitutional rights, other than the right to keep and bear arms, have been roundly and consistently repudiated and or disapproved by our courts, including the Supreme Court of the United States. Whereas the estimated annual cost of this proposed tax increase to all firearms and ammunition purchasers is a ponderous $39 million, whereas the imposition of such taxes could disproportionately affect low-income residents, hunters, sports people, and individuals who rely on firearms for personal protection and subsistence, making it more difficult for them to afford the firearms and ammunition necessary for these lawful purposes. Whereas the intended uses of the proceeds of this proposed tax include recipients of previously state-funded programs that the state has gutted, preventing mental health patients and domestic violence victims, and to assist in balancing its budget. Whereas it is responsibility of the Colorado General Assembly to see to the proper and appropriate funding of public priorities and to identify fair and equitable means for funding those priorities rather than imposing an unfair, excessive, and financial burden on the targeted law-abiding population for merely exercising their constitutional rights. And whereas the Board of County Commissioners of Los Angeles County, Colorado is committed to protecting the rights of its citizens, including their constitutional rights, and believes that effective measures to fund priority programs and combat violence should focus on enforcement, education, and community safety programs rather than increased taxation. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Los Angeles County, Colorado, that the board hereby opposes the passage of Proposition KK, urges their citizens to vote against this ballot measure at the general election. Upon a motion made in second, affirmative vote. This resolution was adopted this 15th day of October 2024. Board of the Board of County Commissioners of Los Angeles County, Colorado, followed by your signature.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to go to section 10, financial matters. Consideration of payroll and bills for the first half of October 2024. Finance Director Coberly.
Payroll as of October 15, 2024 is $233,990.33. Let's see. And on October 15th, in our personnel policy, we pay out any comp time. So you'll see on page 4, some of the employees actually use the comp time, some of them are paid out. A lot of employees actually get saved until December as well to get paid out. Just want to call to your attention on that for payroll.
Little Christmas gift.
And then bills paid on, invoices were paid on October 9th. $567,181.78. I did make notes, Tony. I did remember.
I saw those.
You'll see them. So Arc Valley, we're still paying on the fairgrounds design, $31,910.07. We're still paying for the airport project of Grant 16, $54,552.50. The large construction invoice has not come in yet for that. JBBS, $14,259.58. Extension finally received their van.
Was that 2 years or a year?
2 years.
2 years.
122 is when we initially placed it.
Yeah, they were excited about that, so $46,076. And this is not the final of the HVAC. I think we still have 2 more payments for the HVAC for milling, $311,810.88. Anything else that I might have missed?
No.
No.
Any questions for Finance Director?
No, sir.
Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve payroll and bills for the first half of October 2024.
Second motion.
Commissioner Hess?
Yes.
Commissioner Luis Lopez?
Yes.
Commissioner Felix Lopez?
Yes, and information only. Back to you, Finance Director Coberly.
Let's see, financials as of September 30th. On page 2, I always do a prior year comparison. Do we have any questions on the comparison that I have here for September 30th?
No, are you on the overall deficit that we're showing at the bottom? Is there any?
No, we're just going to continue to watch general fund where we are with the HVAC, because that's high dollar. The sales tax, we're always 2 months in arrears on that. Road and Bridge does have a surplus, money was transferred. Airport, I haven't transferred the funds for airport yet for the project. I'm waiting for the final invoice before capital expenditure transfers the money. So I want to make sure I don't transfer too much on that. You see PILT is in a deficit because we did transfer the funds for the HVAC and for Road and Bridge. We did transfer the funds for the jail improvement for the sheriff, the $100,000. So all we're going to do is I'm just going to continue to keep watching.
So question to Mr. Dornkamp or Paula and Christie yourselves. Speaking of milling and the high dollars for the HVAC systems, with these last couple of mornings being chilly, are your systems working at
Mine is. I keep my office really warm.
I know Commissioner Hess had the air conditioner on here overnight. Make sure it's cool so it seems like it's working. No issues with you guys?
So far, no.
And that's something for this staff and these people that work in this courthouse for years to come. Job well done, everybody.
I think we need to, at the end of this whole thing, have a bit of
An open house.
I think so. That would be awesome to explain to the community the labors of 7, 8 years.
If I remember, about 2 years ago, we had a discussion of bringing back all of the folks that worked on the project and doing a dedication outside, some sort of plaque possibly for the building, for the contractors, and the dedication to that. I don't know if we still want to.
Trinidad's going to be celebrating, is it the 150th or 100th? No, the 150th celebration, year celebration. I think we, as a county, might be able to join in that and showcase some of the good things that have taken place in the last 150 years. But for us here at the courthouse, 1912, it's this building is going to be fantastic here in a few months. Completely done. So, food for thought. Any questions on the FYI from Finance Director Corporate? Hearing that, now I am going to, we're going to go to section 11, executive session. The board will meet in executive session under CRS 24642-4B, confirm with the county attorney for the purpose of receiving legal advice on specific legal questions. A, vacancies. B, VEAD, and C, policy. At this time, I would entertain a motion to,
Add that one too.
oh, I'm sorry, and then, of course, CRS 24642, determine position relative to matters that may be subject to negotiations, developing strategy for negotiations, and instructing negotiators. A, budget. So on those two different CRS titles, I'll entertain a motion to enter into executive session.
So moved.
Second the motion?
Mr. Luis Lopez?
Yes.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. Felix Lopez?
Yes. With a really short recess.